What's going on? It's been a little while. We've been in pretty serious lockdown here where I live. I haven't had anything to do on the cars because everything I've planned to do has required shops, panel beaters, manufacturers. They've all been forced to close. So I thought I'd cover a few bits and pieces today. I got some things to do. So we'll do a little bit of a walk around, see what I have been doing, what I've been working on, which isn't a lot. As you would have seen in the previous videos, that's where I'm at with the engine bay. Everything's pretty neat and tidy. I've gone and grabbed myself some rubber bush caster arms from Hard Race because I've got their tie-rod ends and they're mint. I haven't had a problem with that, and I've heard a lot of people say good things about them. I'll show you some of the annoyances I have with the rose joint ones that I've got in the car. Given that the boots are splitting, the rose joints are wearing out. Yes, I probably just bought cheap shit ones, but I'm sick of them. These are way beefier than what I've got in there. But the other thing that's happened in this time while I haven't done any work on the car is I accidentally left the door open, just a crack, for probably a week, and came back to the car, like a tiny bit of water damage in the carpet, but the interior was full of mold, which, as many people who have old moldy cars would know, that shit is incredibly hard to get out. So now my car reeks of vinegar and cleaning alcohol. I have managed to clear out all the mold, most of it at least. There's still some down in the edges. I don't know if you can see that down there. You can still see some right down the edges there. There's a bit of discoloring still all through the edge of that. All of it went very fluffy and kind of splotchy white and green. Like I was saying, today I got a few things to do. I'm gonna talk about some of the things I've been working on whilst working on things. We got some caster arms to do. I got some taillights to show you because I'm going to be changing them. Probably not today, I don't have the seals yet. I was just going to get some 3M, what is it? It's like butyl rubber, I can't remember what it's called, butyl rubber ribbon, that's what it is, for sealing your taillights and your windows and stuff. So I'll get that for the taillights at some point, because I'm not allowed to go into any stores and buy anything, so I've got to wait for that in the mail. And I'm going to do a bit of work on my Speedo. One of the biggest things going 4.9 diff in this thing is that your Speedo goes out, and there's a hidden, not really hidden, but there's a little screw tucked away behind the speedometer that you can twist to adjust, and it adjusts for the final drive, for the difference in final drive ratios. I've already found that on a old cluster I had that I bought for spare parts, and I did some testing on that one to figure out where I need to drill into the top of it to access the screw without pulling everything apart. I'm gonna get started on these bad boys. Managed to win recently on Yahoo Auctions were these. Probably some of the most unique tri-spokes you'll have seen. Yeah, probably some of like the strangest tri-spokes you will have seen, especially being a 6-bolt face, which if you actually look at the back of it, the whole center is welded in, so I'm just guessing these bolts are cosmetic. Although they have full seats and everything, so maybe not. Yeah, they're Yamaha Silverstar 2. They're 14x7, I think they're +5, but they actually fit incredibly well, which isn't too surprising. 14x7, 0 offset on the S13 fit incredibly nicely, in my opinion. It means you don't have to run too crazy amount of camber to tuck them in, which I like. I don't want to run maximum camber on everything. But it lets you run wheels that fit really nicely flush to the guard, but not require tons and tons of camber to tuck in, because of where they sit. As the wheel will travel up, it will tuck in naturally anyway. I've rolled it a tiny bit, not much. Getting the wheel nuts on and off with these particular wheels are a bitch, because I got extended ones for the buddy clubs that I have. I got extended wheel studs. So here's what's going on. Oh, you go over there. I will actually be restoring these through Barrel Bros before I actually put them on. One of them has a bit of a ding on the inner lip. The paint's peeling up on some of the other wheels, and there's some corrosion and rust going on that's tarnishing it, and I just want them fresh. And I've been meaning to do it for the Easy Riders for a really long time, so I'm like, look, if I'm going to do the Easy Riders, I'll send these off as well. But here is what we've got going on under here. So these are the caster rods I'm using right now. The boots are split. The caster rod actually keeps coming loose everywhere, and when I steer it keeps knocking and crunching and making all sorts of noises. No matter how much I tighten this, even with Loctite, it keeps just coming loose. So to get rid of all the crunching and the to get rid of all the crunching and the noises in the front end, I'm going to get rid of these, lessen the vibration with some rubber ones. The rose joint on the left, on the passenger side, I guess the left side, is way fucked compared to this one. Let's get them out. The thing I didn't like about these arms is the fat as hell Allen key that is required for the top. I don't know about you, but I have a history of stripping Allen keys or Allen key heads. They always just go round. They always get totally fucked. And I've got all these, you know, sockets and tools and screwdrivers. Allen key is just not something I usually have. Oh god, how tight is that on? Maybe I need the breaker bar. Oh, what the fuck? Alright, I need the breaker bar. I've been doing some blog posts on the website, posting up the photos, current day ones and photos that are taken from a long time ago. Been working on some products, made some basic sticker designs, but I don't really want to make any stickers just yet. I've been modeling and making some aero mirrors and gauge holders and things, because I actually did a product design course at uni. Oh, there we go, it's starting to spin. And you always get that same comment, this looks like Bomex, that looks like East Bear, and it's like, well, if you actually know Bomex and East Bear mirrors, they really don't look that similar at all. So I've been making my own aero mirrors, which has been pretty fun. Whoops. And I've been making them as like a bit of a hybrid between Bomex and East Bear. You know, I've posted a couple photos here and there in the comment sections on some Facebook posts. Oh wow, this is really on. Fucking hell. Get my foot on the car. So you'll probably see them, you know, my prototypes and my test ones on the car. I'm getting pretty close to a final version that I'm happy with. Oh my god. I probably should have hit these with some degreaser or something. Fucking hell. I'm gonna spin that way. Might make a few sets selling people, that'd be fun. Oh, there we go. I just need to lock the Allen key somewhere. So yes, in this rather quiet period with lots of people in lockdowns and questionable situations, I've noticed a lot of YouTubers are dying off in this time period, in terms of like making content, that is. Wow, the plating on this is gross. It's just flaking off. But yeah, like I said, I've spent my time designing products, computer modeling, prototyping, all that kind of stuff, 3D printing, making workbenches, and I guess if I'm realistic, wasting a lot of money on Yahoo Auctions Japan, because that's the best thing to do when the economy starts to fail. Spend all your money in Japan. So the other thing that's been going on is we're like only just coming out of winter now, and it's already pretty damn hot. Yeah, it's already getting hot. I was wearing a hoodie before because that's just what I'm used to doing now. Look at that. So this, that I couldn't tight even though I used Loctite multiple times, you can see it wobbling around. So this is staying solid, that's just jiggling. I totally forgot what I was talking about. So I haven't been able to work on the car because it's been raining heaps, and then because it's been raining heaps and I left the door open, the car's gotten super moldy. Oh my god! I'm rambling a bit, but I haven't made a video in ages. And I've spent a lot of time doing all those other things I just mentioned. Oh, stuff in my eyes. I should have worn my glasses. That's like the #1 rule working under a Nissan. Wear safety glasses because of the shit that's gonna fall out. What if all my ideas keep failing? Okay, what if I do this? Some of you might have actually seen, I streamed a bit of a Seto a little while ago, which was fun. Not too many people liked it. Some people got really into it. Oh, there we go. Look at this. I'm not sure if these have a left or a right. They should just be symmetrical. I'm hoping. Alright, they're just going in. Oh, hang on. The other thing I need to do. So this is the other thing I was going to make sure of. That they're the same length. Even though this one shook loose, I don't know if it's exactly right. At least this way. I know it's closer to what it was before, and hopefully closer to... See, I don't run too much caster. I'd like to use it for some skid pans, but it's not a drift car. I'm sure a lot of people out there will call me a fucking idiot because of that. But you know what? I'm happy with how my car is. So, yeah, look at this. No wobble. What if I tighten it? Let's see what it shows. Doesn't show it, but I can still feel it wobbling, even though I've tightened it. Yeah. So that's not moving at all, but I can feel the end of this thing jiggling and wobbling. Don't like it. Get out of my life. Fresh bolts, pressed in studs, good shit. Don't need any Allen keys. I'm happy. Now, there was quite a lot of love for the NX in that recent video. Why did I say recent? It's not recent. Yeah, there was quite a lot of love for the NX, which I thought was really cool. That's good because I've got an order of a whole bunch of bits and pieces for it. It's all maintenance stuff, like I said. I'm not going to turn that into like a heavily modified project car. The point of the NX to me is it's a daily, and what mods I do to it are just going to be what a lot of people refer to these days as OEM plus. It's just standard maintenance, but maybe something a little bit, you know, a little bit upgraded. How about I just extend that out a bit? Fully aware at this point in time that my cast is going to be totally out. That's okay with me. I haven't even tightened these up properly at all. I can still spin that pretty easily. It just feels so solid. It's one of those things that should have been fixed a long time ago and you never do it, and then when you finally get around to doing it, is that a larger nut? It's a 19. Of course, it's the exact one that I'm lying on top of. Yeah, it's just one of those things that's been going wrong on the car for a long time. These goddamn caster rods. So finally sorting them out is just such a good feeling. I've had these sitting in the shed for quite a while. Whoops. That's nice. Neat. I'll smash through the other side and then get on with some other things. So that's in now. They're pretty simple. It's just 2 bolts here, 1 bolt there, and then adjust it. Obviously it's not going to be aligned because, well, there's no engine in it. The car's raised to make it onto a tow truck. But they're solid. Everything clamped up really nicely. The only way to, I guess, test it is once it's in the car, aligned and driving. But hopefully it's going to get rid of some of the horrible clunking noises in the front end while I'm steering. The other thing I was mentioning though was about my tail lights. Personally, I'm a big fan of the clear tails, and it works really well on a bright car, but there's a problem with them in Australia. They form giant splits right down the middle. I don't even know if you can see that in there. Some of these water stains aren't actually on the outside, they're on the inside, and a few of these LEDs are starting to drop out and stop working. On top of that, they form splits right down the corners here. This side's fine. I'll show you the other side though. Oh yeah, and heat causes this sort of like weird little hairline fractures. Again, look at the crack on that one. And that goes all the way down through the reflector inside it. And then on this side, I don't know if you can see that. That is a giant split on the inside. And there's actually water and algae growing there. Dude, goals. That's so sick. And then the other thing I found out recently, because you can see that one sits in nicely, this one doesn't, is this bit. Yeah, look, there's water in there. Nice. I can't really show you with the cover on, but you've got like 2 bolts, and then I think another 2 bolts over here. All of them have broken away from the plastic that holds them in, and now they just free spin. So the tail light doesn't actually, it won't actually bolt in. If you've got an S13 or a 240 with a coupe rear, just know that if you go for some clear tail lights, these are Mars ones, if you go for a clear tail lights from eBay or wherever you get them, just know that if you live in a hot climate, they'll split down the middle, they'll split at the edges, and the bolts on the back will break away from the actual molding around them. But like I said, I don't have the beautiful rubber seal ribbon for my OEM ones, so that's not happening now. Maybe I'll do that in another video. That's my version 1. That's my version 2. I'm going to chuck the Easy Riders back on now, and then I'm going to show you the deal with the Speedo and adjusting that. If you have a shorter diff, a lot of people can't be bothered with that sort of thing, but I want to. Like I was mentioning much earlier on, this is like a dummy cluster that I bought for 50 bucks just to test out where I need to be drilling to adjust the Speedo. I've made 2 holes in the back of it right there with, I have one of those like really fine, like, I don't know, small electronics screwdrivers. You can drill through it if you want, but I actually, because this plastic is so soft, I actually used the small screwdriver to just like twist it and it went through. If I get rid of the covers though, pop this out. So there's the hole right up there, but they go straight down on top of, which one is it? That one. So they go straight down on top of this, which if your Speedo is out, you can adjust it with that screw. I'm not sure what that one does. So I'll chuck that back together. I'll show you again. This lump off of the side from the middle. Once I've got everything back in and running, I'll have that not bolted in and I'll adjust it as I'm driving with a mate to help me. That way I can get all my speedo correct. As you can see, that's sort of like one of the gauge holders I was making for a mate. It's going to have a exhaust gas temp or exhaust sensor and controller down the bottom here that'll sit in his Safari, in Derek's Safari. Got a few other bits and pieces that I've made, which I'm going to be laying some fiberglass in and around and then sticking the two halves together from the little seam that it forms at the edge to form a shroud for the power steering oil cooler that I got there. Probably going to leave it at that for the video. Seeing the kind of stuff I've been working on, the mirrors, the gauges, playing racing sims and all that kind of crap. But cheers for coming along and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully some restrictions ease up, but until then, I'll